Question. Is your sex life boring, uneventful, or lacking in substance? Question. Do you sense your beloved drifting away from you more and more each day? Question. Are you a Christian husband but lack the true understanding of what Christ demands from you in your sacred realm, the bedroom? Question. Are you willing to subdue your ego in order to learn the foundation for becoming a world-class lover for the most important person in your life, your wife? Recognize your beloved deserves better than boring, average, or mediocre. She is the mother of your children, your beloved, your path to holiness and eventual sainthood. I challenge, she is entitled to the very best that you, her champion, is able to offer. She deserves world class. Let me reveal to you the second phase of my step-by-step system designed to help you, the Christian husband, become the rapturous lover your soulmate hungers for. By teaching you the art of how to deeply fulfill and satisfy your beloved wife while preventing premature ejaculation. Tip number 1. Without this knowledge, the odds of your marriage reaching its maturity are slim. This information highly increases your chance of marital bliss, which in today's society is rare. Do you want to be part of the over 50% divorce rate? Be proactive instead of reactive. Refuse to allow things to get worse. Refuse to allow things to wander from good to grim. Do you really want to suffer through counseling? Join me. Let's do this together. Hey, I understand. It's hard out here today trying to be a man, especially a Christian man, a man of great courage. It takes an extreme amount of that courage to stand up, be masculine, strong, and Christian. To, in fact, not do as society is trying to get us to do, which is put our women out in front while we hide behind her like a coward. But even harder is keeping it together for your wife, your marriage, your family. Only a man that's having his masculinity challenged daily can really understand what we men go through each day. This is why you must dig deep, prepare for battle, and fight for the spiritual war that is up on you each and every day. Understand the battle is always within and against yourself. You engaging and battling evil and temptation daily. Encourage to abandon your wife, abandon your family, to seek comfort, relief, and favor elsewhere. The problem? Society doesn't make it easy to serve God, your family, and your wife. Misery indeed loves company, and if they can't have what you have, then they want you to crash and burn with them. This is why, at all cost, you must study, learn, and understand what it means to suffer, sacrifice, and offer your one and only life in service to your wife. Without her, you are nothing, not whole, lacking of complete self, a true man. Realize, she is here as your helpmate to give you what God purposely left out. Why? So that you have a companion to help encourage you to become the man God created you to be. Strong, masculine, Christian, and ready to give his life for his wife, his marriage, and the faith. In essence, making a decision to martyr yourself for the sole purpose of you getting your beloved to heaven before God. This Christian soldier is why you dated her. You married her. Now, in order to do this, you must understand what God is asking you to do and what your wife needs from you as a Christian husband. Remember, God tasked Adam with the care of the garden. He did not commission Eve with this responsibility. You as the man are commanded to protect, defend, and serve. And that begins wholeheartedly with your wife, your marriage. In short, you must understand what your beloved needs from you as a husband. And that study begins with understanding how to deeply give her what no other man can. An attentive, caring, enthusiastic, passionate, self-giving, on fire for her, world-class Christian lover. This is the Father demands of you. This is what he demands of you. Don't let him down. Keep your marriage intact. Keep your family intact. Study, learn, and grow. Kill your ego. Start becoming the man God created you to be now. Imagine being a husband whose wife no longer desired him. Imagine a husband whose wife could go weeks, months without making love to him. Imagine a husband being so clueless as to blame his wife and become upset because she didn't desire him. Imagine a husband who was ignorant of his situation and to these facts, but then realizing in the end he was the culprit, the fool, the idiot whom the joke was on. Yep, I said it. I would get angry with my wife, completely blame her, then pout about it. Real mature, huh? But I did. This immaturity came from me, even though I was very experienced in sex, being arrogant and prideful, thinking I knew everything about sex and how to please my beloved. Hell, I've been having sex, 35 years? I mean, it's not that involved. A little foreplay, some kissing and hugging, then the actual sex act itself. Say 5, 10, 15, or 20 minutes max. Hey, I'm done and satisfied. She's done and satisfied. So I thought. See, this is what taking the most important person in your life for granted does. You get lax, lazy, and eventually dumb. What I didn't realize is my wife wasn't satisfied. And if she was, it wasn't the deep, total, and complete fulfillment that a wife needs to feel as though she is totally loved, happy, and secure. See, brother, I was like most men today. I was distracted. I forgot for a time my priorities. I put too many things above and in front of my wife, which means I was unknowingly jeopardizing my marriage, which does what? Puts my family in danger while having the danger of placing me out of God's graces. I let the pull and evil of society get me all messed up. I became blind, insensitive, out of complete harmony with my wife. Oh, and then had the audacity to get mad at her. What an idiot. As men, we always wonder why our wives begin to get on edge, why they begin to become combative with us, why they begin to fade from our lives, why they begin to seek comfort in other pleasures, such as food, shopping, the kids, other men. Most of the time, it's because the most important person in her life, her helpmate, the person whom she needs to feel complete and whole, has diverted all or most of his attentions and focus to something or someone else. He has in fact forgotten his promise, his command, his mission to protect, to defend, and to serve. He has forgotten that his love isn't dependent on his feelings, but on the strength of his will. Yes, I was guilty of all these things and more. But then I got smart. I perked up, started using the senses God gave me, and got back in the game. You know, it's funny how when we're denied the major needs in life, how we all of a sudden get complete focus. And in this case, my wife not desiring me got my attention. I went out and researched everything on marriage and sexual fulfillment in a woman I could find. Of course, most of it's crap, but I was determined to win back my beloved's heart, save my marriage, and prove to her that I could once again be her champion. What I found out is something marriage takes three: God, my beloved, and me, and that we need His continuous grace in order for our marriage to reach its maturity. That means no divorce if you need it spelled out. But that wasn't enough. I had to figure out exactly what the Father expected of me as a Christian husband, and that meant understanding how to engage my wife, understand how and what she feels and needs at all times, and most of all, how to put my ego, pride, and self last, while fixing and improving myself in order to focus on getting her soul to eternity and before the Father. And what was the first step? Learning how to become the best lover that I could be, and all that entails. I had to learn how to sacrifice my satisfaction for sometimes hours at a time in order to ensure her complete and total fulfillment. See, the question became, how in the world do I have time for the boys, for sports, for video games, for television, tons of hours at work, volunteering on 5 different committees at church, calling on my parents, spending time with my siblings, going on hunting trips and trips to Vegas, when the most important and only true relationship that matters on this earth is in the toilet? And before you get all high and mighty, you had better turn to the Father. Ephesians 5, husbands are called to leave their parents in lieu of their beloved, which means, in short, on this planet, nothing and no one compares to or is to be placed above the sacredness of your wife and your marriage. To be clear, God first, marriage second. In essence, your beloved is to be first in all things. And now I want to begin the mission of transferring this wondrous knowledge to you, but only if you allow me to help. Marriage Unchained, the Art of One Flesh, Inflamed, is the second phase of my step-by-step system designed to help you, the Christian husband, become the rapturous lover your soulmate hungers for, by teaching you the art of how to deeply fulfill and satisfy your beloved wife while preventing premature ejaculation. In this 4-week, 7-lesson course, you will learn the true definition of premature ejaculation and why you probably experience it but don't even know it. Tip: it's not what you think. Learn a quick and easy technique to reduce the stressful thoughts of sexual performance. Learn the major cause of poor sexual performance and how you can defeat it with planning and attention. Learn why your wife may be bored with marital intimacy and why she won't tell you, and how you contribute to her lack of excitement. Learn why women need deep sexual fulfillment more than men, and the first step is ensuring your beloved experiences this from you. Learn the secret of your wife desiring you and why no one talks about it. You will also learn why everything you put in your body has a severe effect on your sexual experience. More important if you're over the age of 25. Learn why taking your wife for granted will affect your lovemaking frequency and eventually cost you your marriage. Learn the true beauty of the marital embrace through the eyes of God and His church, and how society has warped this view. Learn how to avoid the drudgery of marriage counseling. Learn the technique that will give you increased energy during sex. Learn through the eyes of God while denying your beloved the benefit of at least one orgasm disrespects her dignity as a human person. Question: if you knew the answer to just one of these mind-boggling benefits, what would this do for your marriage? More importantly, how would it be affected? Really, consider this question. Today, men are encouraged to mainly consider just ourselves. Many husbands are given advice to, in fact, ignore their wives and what they think and have to offer, only considering their wants and desires. Understand this is the road to disaster. Can you say 50% divorce rate? Take the first step in securing a legendary marriage. Make it better than it was, stronger than it is, holier than it is. You may have a good marriage now, but the question I must ask, can it be better? Realize God didn't create you for good. He created you for great. Don't sit on your laurels and allow your marriage to become stale. While you are allowing this last statement to sink in, consider more breathtaking benefits of marriage unchained and inflamed. Understand how your ego can interfere with your wife's complete sexual fulfillment and how you can squash this by great planning. Understand premature ejaculation and one of its major causes, as well as how you can prevent this from destroying a joyous moment between you and your beloved. Understand why you must at all costs control yourself during marital intimacy and the strategy to use so it doesn't happen to you. Understand why it's a false statement that the older you get, the less sex you'll have. Learn the exact opposite and how you can prevent the effect of age-related male impotency, even if you are experiencing this monster right now. Understand why putting yourself last saves your marriage, while at the same time intensifies and increases your sessions. Understand why suffering in your marriage has meaning and purpose, and how it can improve your relationship with God and your beloved. Furthermore, you will understand why it takes your wife much longer for arousal and how you can use this to enhance her experience. Understand the major mistake by you that will end your lovemaking session in light speed. Tip: it's not what you think. Understand the sexual phases of your wife, as well as why you must control yourself through all of them for her complete sexual satisfaction. Understand how this one technique can increase your sexual pleasure. Understand how that with this one strategy, you can increase your sexual performance almost immediately. Learn its true meaning and what the real standards are for measuring it. Understand how to improve your sexual stamina fast. There is no place for selfishness and no place for fear. Do not be afraid then when love makes demands. Do not be afraid when love requires sacrifice. Saint Pope John Paul II. Selfishness and pride are your number one enemy in marriage, plain and simple. Focusing on self and your desires first and foremost, while allowing pride to prevent you from self-examination, from looking in the mirror at self. But more damaging, the refusal to seek the true answer, while mistakenly believing you know all answers and have all things firmly in hand. But of course you don't. In fact, none of us do. This is why we must always strive for and seek perfection and emulate the true measure and example of a man, Christ. Ultimately, this is the true mission of the marriage, Unchained series to encourage you to focus on fixing you first and above all else. Because once you fix you, everyone else, in particular your beloved, will look for growth, change, and improvement in themselves while planting herself firmly in your corner. Why? Because you, the spiritual head, have taken on the only mission that really matters, the mission of God and the plans He has for the greatness of your marriage. Now, as you move forward, you will discover why, in order to intensify the marital embrace, you must engage in as well as seek out in-depth conversation with your beloved. Discover why on frequent occasions you have to almost bribe your wife for sexual intimacy and how you can kill this game with her being happy to do so. Discover the almost never discussed effects of chemicals and toxins on the male reproductive system and how this slashes your performance and how you can recover and prevent this invasion. Discover why marriage takes three and how without God, your odds of joining the divorce crowd leaps high, or at best, you're trapped in a lackluster union. Discover why God created marriage, as well as the marital embrace, and your duty and role as a Christian husband. Discover the huge energy drain that kills your sexual performance, and to make sure this never happens to you. Look, man, divorce levels are above sea level and rising higher each year. Lack of intimacy, trust, and closeness, as well as focus on self, are the culprits. If our beloved doesn't experience complete and total sexual fulfillment from us, then to some degree, we are all premature ejaculators. No matter what we think or sense as husbands, that's just the bottom line. You're a Christian soldier. You're a fighter, a warrior. You awake ready for battle each day, brawling the pulls and temptations of society. But this battle, it's different. It takes every ounce of your blood just to survive. Hey, I understand. No one has taught you the rules, the intricacies of how to be a dynamic husband, a world-class lover, and a master of marriage, all focusing and heading toward the Father. No one teaches God first, marriage, and intimacy. This must be your path. This must be your mission. The outcome, a marriage that's legendary, not ordinary. You, your beloved, journey of a lifetime. I currently charge $300 a month for email mentoring. I also offer one-on-one phone mentoring for you to receive the same information with me. One-on-one would set you back thousands. Let's be honest here. If in this course you get results from just one of the two of the benefits listed, what is the value to you? What will this mean in your service to the Father? What will this mean to your marriage, your beloved? What about the generations of your children and their children? Each of them benefiting because you, the spiritual head, decided to ignite your will and build a legendary marriage. Yes, among the best in the world. Time for a confession. Yes, I've been where you are. I must admit, the value is priceless. There isn't a price for a happy, joy-filled, deep, sexually fulfilled marriage with Christ as the foundation, is there? Even though placing a value on this is quite difficult, what I can offer is to help, advise, lead, and mentor you step by step with each phase of Marriage Unchained. guiding you to the ultimate goal, greatness, as the Father created you to be. And that starts with this phase of marriage unchained, inflamed. So kill your pride, ignore self, and sacrifice for your beloved. Buy now. Marriage Unchained, The Art of One Flesh Inflamed, only $49, including video course and all the bonuses. Click the Buy Now button to go to the checkout page, fill out your payment details, and order the product immediately. You will receive a welcome email with login details to access a special membership area created just for you, where you are able to download all of your material. Then get down to the business, the mission of your life, creating a marriage of sacrifice and self-giving, building a family that the Father will be proud of. Imagine you're 80 or 85 years old. You and your beloved have a ritual. Each morning you wake and engage in the marital embrace for at least an hour. Joseph has been using the major principles in Inflamed for almost 30 years. He and his beloved are in complete devotion to each other. Over the past 30 years, he's given her the gift of total self-giving. How many marriages do you know of with this longevity, devotion, commitment, and love? As I stated earlier, these principles are valid no matter the age. If you follow the instructions and commit to doing the work, no longer will you have to worry about sexual performance. 30, 40, 50, 60, or 70 years old. No worries, no problems. We aren't meant to be sickly and diseased in our older years. We aren't meant to have sexual performance issues at age 30. But plenty of men do. The point, even if you're young, this short course will benefit you and prevent the embarrassment of premature ejaculation or poor sexual performance. You will learn the beginner's guide to superior marital intimacy, the beginning foundation to build upon, which is what we all need for greatness. Still not convinced? Well, here's a bonus for you. The Intimacy Intensifier COMMUNIQUE is your path to becoming the rapturous lover your beloved has always fantasized. How will you know? Why am I so sure? Because, hey, with this tool, she will tell you. But you must have the courage and willful desire to seek the truth about the most important relationship on this earth, your holy union. Only then can you inspire the heroism in yourself for change and growth needed to instill the trust and vulnerability essential in a marriage, resulting in longevity and prosperity. Moreover, complete and utter sexual satisfaction for your beloved. This communication tool starts the most passionate, blazing, warm-hearted, revealing discussion, emphasizing the intimacy in your marriage. Furthermore, the expose focuses on the tenderness in your holy union, inside as well as outside your bedroom. It encourages you to approach your beloved with the most thorough, revealing, and truth-gaining questions available. I believe it's safe to say many of these discussion starters have never been asked in your marriage. The communique is stacked with over 50 engaging, in-depth, profound, soul-searching, truth-seeking questions created to propel central discussion to its highest level, while inspiring you and your wife on your journey to a legendary marriage. By the time you discuss and finish all of the questions, you'll have the information you need. More important, the wisdom to awaken greatness in yourself as the total and inspirational lover your wife has always envisioned. I can't tell you how much these inquiries have helped me in my marriage. Sure, they are at times difficult to ask and answer, but I promise, if you persevere, discuss, and act on the solutions in your beloved's answers, your marriage will aspire toward greatness. In bonus number 1, the Intimacy Intensifier Communique, you will discover such intimate secrets as the view your wife has about the state of the intimacy in your marriage, the trust and vulnerability your wife feels is present in your marriage, the depths of her sexual fulfillment, as well as what she needs from you to aid her in this area, her feelings on including God more in your marriage and intimacy. Also in bonus number 1, you will learn how she feels about the intimacy outside of your bedroom, her feelings on your closeness to God as a couple, the truth about her unabridged happiness, the truth about her feelings of security, the truth about her feelings of total and unconditional love from you, her feelings on every intricacy of your lovemaking, intimacy, passion, and deep sexual fulfillment, and over 40 more. I proclaim it's the duty of every husband to never cease in his education of his beloved. How else can you truly love her, truly understand her innermost self, if you don't ask? I challenge, are you a man of courage? Are you willing to endure the heat? Can your ego stand the pressure? In short, are you the man for this job? I say deep down, you are. Get instant access now. The Intimate Intensifier Communique, your road to the rapturous lover she needs. Still want more? Bonus number 2, Mentor Your Marriage Email Access Prime Edition. Yep, I've been there, in a marriage with problems and concerns. Chaos everywhere. Problem, no one to turn to for help, advice, or counsel. I was lost. No one to bounce ideas off of. And at the time, I did a lot of dumb stuff that required someone saying, "Hey man, don't do that, it's stupid." Fortunately, you have someone who's been there and can help sort through the mass confusion and give you heads up on the thoughts you may be considering. With Mentor Your Marriage Email Access Prime Edition, you will get my full attention for 4 days over email. We can discuss and make plans on whatever is aching at your core. Ask whatever question is on your mind. I can be that man you can bounce ideas off of before you get and do something not so smart. One of the largest problems of husbands today, they have no course, no map, no direction. Why? Because no one in their life taught them how to be a great husband and what is involved in such an undertaking. So they are basically in the country but can't speak the language. Not a good place to be. Okay, in bonus number 2, Mentor Your Marriage Email Access Prime Edition, you'll get the following: 24-hour email access to me for a full 4 days. Now, with access to Prime Edition support, you receive more responses and higher priority. All the privacy you need with just you and your mentor. Release your frustration and get some answers. Learn what no one else has bothered to teach you. how to be a great husband. Let's develop a plan together to conquer the enemy in your home. And that's the lack of intimacy, closeness, and a kick-butt marriage you can be proud to display to the world. Understand that I can help, and more important, I will help. Stop the pain. Ignite your intimacy. Regain the peace. Buy now. Look, brother, let's forget about all what's going on. Let's forget about the money. Let's forget about your wife right now. Let's just put that to the side. Finally, the question must be asked. What will you ultimately do with the souls God has placed in your care? Your wife and your children. Are you up for this task? Are you the man for the job? Will you be the destroyer of a marriage, a family, because you, in fact, didn't try hard enough? Didn't do everything in your power to fix this? Revelation: your children will never recover from your debacle. Not their entire lives. They will forever suffer from the effects. And my friend, so will you. Remember, you are the one the Father placed to oversee this land. Not your wife, not your children, but you. Can Christ count on you? Will you stand in front of him at the judgment with tons of excuses? I don't believe so. I proclaim Christ made the right choice. Don't discount the faith he's placed in you. Prove you are the Christian soldier for the job. Make a decision to become the man God created you to be. Stop the denial. Stop the chaos. Start the process. Buy now. Look, of course you have the customary 30-day money-back guarantee. Guaranteed on my training. I have no interest in keeping your money if you don't experience the true benefit. That's the way I stay in business year after year, and people keep coming to me. So go ahead, take your time, take the full training, and if in 30 days you grow through the whole course and every exercise you still haven't made any progress, then send me an email, support@catholicalpha.com, and ask for your money back. If that happens, I don't want your money, so you can feel 100% safe. However, that's not the outcome I want for you. I want you to complete Inflamed. I want you to complete the Intimacy Intensifier COMMUNIQUE. I want you to use the Mentor Your Marriage email access. I want you to feel you took a giant leap forward and finally understand the beginning principles of why intimacy and thoughts of divorce are infecting your marriage. So, I'd like to go above and beyond your standard money-back promise. If you go through Inflamed, the Intimacy Intensifier COMMUNIQUE, my 4-day Mentor Your Marriage email support, and do all the exercises, read all the material, and ask your beloved every single question, but fail to gain at least one helpful benefit or an idea that helps propel your marriage to the next level of intimacy, I will get on a Skype call with you for 2 hours if necessary, and we will explore your situation in depth. During that call, you can ask me any question you feel you need to in order to help you move toward the next level in building the marriage you desire. So, I ask you one final time, Be a man of courage. Build a legendary marriage. Be remarkable. Change the world. Buy Inflamed now.